We've made it to Friday, and this is Weather for Weather Geeks on this Friday afternoon. It's turned out to be a much different day today as advertised. The rain is gone, but the clouds have stuck around, and it's cool outside as well. This is pretty classic stuff for the day after a cold front in northeast Ohio and western Pennsylvania. The clouds tougher to break than we bargained for, and that's having an influence on temperatures. You know, in the spring, and then as we get into the fall season, the day after a cold front, a lot of times there's lingering low-level moisture. It's certainly being aided some by the cold lakes, and the models don't pick up on this as well as they should, and human forecasters, myself included, sometimes buy into the models a little too much. We should have relied instead on our experience, knowing that the day after a cold front, a lot of times it's a little cloudier than you bargained for. And that's the way it's turned out today. So it's only 50 here in the 2 o'clock hour in Youngstown, 51 in Newcastle, a few degrees warmer where there is some sun off to the south and the west. I think before the afternoon is through, some of these holes in the clouds back towards Canton, New Philly, Millersburg, and Worcester will work in. So especially from Youngstown, south and west, I think it'll be a little brighter before the afternoon is through. All right, off to the west. Here's our next weather maker. Yesterday's wet weather is now along the East Coast. It produced flooding problems in Pennsylvania and upstate New York yesterday, including around the Finger Lakes, massive flooding problems up there. That's gone. Here's tomorrow's problem. Very vivid satellite and radar perspective here. I'm going to take off the temperatures. I'm going to bring up the 500 millibar heights. 500 millibars is about 18,000 feet up in the air. It's an important level for meteorologists to look at to pick out features. And what we have is a closed area of low pressure at that level that's pivoting through the lower Great Lakes. And a lot of chilly air associated with this, not only here at the ground level, but upstairs in the atmosphere as well. And that chilly air mass and cold air aloft is producing a lot of instability. That doesn't mean thunderstorms, but it means pop-up showers and sprinkles all over the place in Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and now starting to get into southwestern parts of Ohio. Earlier on today, in the western suburbs of Chicago, we had wet snow underneath that upper level low pressure system with temperatures around 33. They picked up a little dusting of snow on grassy surfaces in some of those far western Chicago suburbs. That's pretty remarkable considering that it's now May 16th. So that's our 500 millibar low right there. That's what's going to come our way tomorrow. You look at the country as a whole. Let me take off the satellite. Look at the country as a whole, and that's the big distinct feature. Upper level low here with a little appendage down here. You can kind of envision the jet stream looking like this. So it's a ridge of warm air across the west with wildfire problems continuing and record heat in California. And underneath the low pressure system, it's cooler than average in a lot of places, including down in the southeast. It's only about 70 in Charlotte this afternoon, 68 in Atlanta, and for them, that's definitely below average. 69 is our average high at this time of the year across the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. Look how chilly it is off to the west underneath that upper level low. No higher than the mid-40s with chilly raindrops in Indiana, and out towards Chicago, hard-pressed to be much more than 40 around Chicago this afternoon. So that's what's going on right now. Let me take you briefly through this evening. I do think that raindrops are probably going to wait until after sunset to arrive here. Let me back this up. This is at 7 o'clock this evening. At this point, the leading edge of the showers might be trying to get into Zanesville, Cambridge, maybe as far north as New Philly. But across the WFMJ viewing area, I think we're dry until the end of the daylight hours. A couple of hours after sunset this evening. Here's 10 o'clock, a couple of showers, trying to push in, especially from Route 30 on south. So despite it being cloudy and chilly out, you can still do things outdoors without worrying about rain this afternoon. It's more so tonight that we're going to start to run into some problems with the rain. The showers here off and on tonight, and Saturday, that the weather that they're having in Indiana today could be very similar to what we have here tomorrow. Maybe not quite as chilly as they're seeing in Indiana today, but still our upper level low centered over, say, Michigan. Lots of instability. That means pop-up sprinkles and showers at just about any point on Saturday. So Saturday for Thunder in the Valley, not a great day. Sunday is going to be your better day. Here's a look at Sunday with high pressure building across. Even though it's still going to be a cooler than average day, I do think we'll see more sunshine on Sunday and probably fewer showers. Now, I can't totally rule out there's a quick sprinkle somewhere on Sunday, but I think the chances are low enough now that we're probably going to take the raindrops out of the forecast for Sunday. Just mentioning real quick, maybe a 5-minute sprinkle in a couple of spots. Don't think that'll be a big deal. So Sunday's the better half of the weekend. Talk about next week in just a second. I wanted to back up a little bit and talk about the past here for just a brief moment. We're halfway through the month now, and this through the first 15 days are the temperature anomalies across North America for the first half of May. Looks a lot like the winter did up across Canada. This is the zone where they had an extremely harsh winter, even worse than we had, of course. We have been above average as a whole, not only here in the Mahoning and Shenango valleys, but throughout the eastern part of the U.S. so far this May. And where they're seeing warm weather right now, it's actually been a cooler start to May. Texas, back into the Four Corners region. Now, the West Coast, including California, has been warm, but the interior of the West has actually been a little cooler than average so far this month. And one more note on what's happened over the past several days. This is a look at the total precipitation estimated by satellite over the last week, going back 7 days. When you get into this kind of brownish color right here, particularly in Mercer and Lawrence counties, a lot of places have picked up more than 5 inches of rain over the last week. So it's been a soggy second week of May across the valley, and particularly hard hit Mercer County right along I-80, and then heading down to the parts of Lawrence County, southeastern part of Mahoning, northeastern part of Columbiana. That's the zone that's gotten overall the most rain over the last week. All right, let's go into next week. Things are looking better. Monday's going to be a nice day. Sunshine on Monday. Nothing going on here. A little warm front off to our north. So we head into midweek. This is when the forecast gets a little bit trickier. This is Tuesday. GFS does not have anything this day. Some other modeling tries to bring in a shower by the end of the day Tuesday. I'm going to take a look at the newest models this afternoon and decide what to do on Tuesday. GFS keeps it dry, though. Wednesday, I think there's probably a better chance to get wet. This is Wednesday. Got low pressure, a weak low pressure system scooting through the Great Lakes. A warm front somewhere in here, a cold front back in here somewhere. Chance of a shower, maybe a thunderstorm this day. The big question is, what happens after that? The GFS keeps temperatures fairly warm here for a lot of next week. Some other modeling does not necessarily see that. I'm going to show you something a little different here. This is the European model. Forecast anomalies going out over the next week or so. Chilly weekend here Saturday, and then here's Sunday and Monday. Cold pool of air still around the eastern U.S. through Monday evening. So despite Monday being a sunnier day, it's still going to be a little below average, I think. Head towards midweek and back things up. Here's a Tuesday, kind of a transitional day. And then here's Wednesday. I mentioned that warm front pushing through. So Wednesday is likely to be fairly warm compared to average. After that, the European does bring down a chunk of cooler air. Not as cool as the current air mass, but a chunk of cooler air for late next week and into next weekend. Next weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Coming a little earlier this year. I believe the date of Memorial Day is the 26th. So we'll keep an eye on the trends there, but at least early in Memorial Day weekend, odds probably favor it being at least a little below average. Average for Memorial Day weekend, average high is going to be in the lower 70s, so it could be 68 and still be below average. Doesn't mean it's going to be cold, but going out 7-8 days, always take any forecast with a grain of salt, but if I had to hedge my bets right now, chances are the Memorial Day weekend is probably going to start with temperatures at or below average. Doesn't look very favorable for an 83-degree start to next weekend. All right, that's weather for Weather Geeks on this Friday. Be sure and check out my fresh forecast tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11. Mike Joyce has you covered this weekend. I'll be back here on Monday. Hope you have a great weekend. Sorry about the lousy weather tomorrow, but I think we'll make up for it for at least the first half of next week.